nobody from the back will finish in the top 5, were the words spoken by one foolish non-believer known as Cirrus 5005. I mean, I knew he was good, but really? First by 10 seconds on a compact track? What a way to blow the integrity of Children of the Mountain completely out of the water. Is this really the best challenge we could have given him? As the bees begin to buzz their way around D's Bees GP. No, we're no longer playing GTA 5, no. We're playing the latest edition of Mario Kart, and someone from the back has evidently just lobbed a honey bomb right into the midfield at the haystack chicane, because that's literally the only explanation I can come up with. But please let go. Please let me go. Please let me go. Oh, for God's sake. Now, at this point, I'm just a little bit absolutely salty. But I think it's about time someone cracked out the salt shaker and started sprinkling some seasoning onto these free meals being handed out on silver platters to certain individuals every goddamn race. I don't care what anybody says. Neo didn't start from last. Neo's over there in 6th. He's got Jerome and Mo fucking Youngstar to pass. They're reserves. And then it's only a matter of time until, spoiler alert, Nima disconnects from the race lead. So that gives him a grand total of 2 formidable challenges to pass on tracks. Oh no, screw it. Neo didn't start from the back. I started from the back. I'm the underdog story. I'm the unlikely hero who has to scratch and claw for every hard-earned position on track with carefully thought-out pit strategies and legitimate wheel-to-wheel overtakes. I'm the one running the gauntlet of Division 1 talent every sodding week. I am the one who knocks. And with that, I believe the salt shaker is just about empty. So let's assess the situation. Headshot and Macy pitted last lap, and now Mini Temper and Shawnell have just gone in. But I was happy to stay out because this had opened up some space for Awes and Scrazor to pick up the pace. And while Scrazor had been doing a fine job, I knew my lap had been even quicker as I'd closed right up to his rear bumper. So I decided to pit in myself because it might have just been enough to clear 1 or 2 of those 4 guys who decided to pit right away. Now there was a little confusion with my leaving time as the pit man told me to go a bit early, so I kind of started to try and lose the time that I'd unfairly gained, and MC West was able to clear me going into the fruit stand hairpin. Now observe as I use 10 whole corners of careful preparation and car positioning to create one final cutback opportunity that might be possible, as I get a ridiculous line around the fruit stand hairpin, which sets me up perfectly for the following hairpin, which should set MC West up horrendously for the final hairpin, which in turn gives me the cutback that I was looking for all along, but with a little boost from the side of the runway. The move is certainly not complete yet, as we move on to lap 6 out of 32, weave through the first chicane, and finally pull off the pass, which, if you remember, will be absolutely crucial to undercut Scrazor, who I was battling with before my pit stop. So we see the flare shoot into the air, and there he is. So have I done enough? I cut in tight so I can run a fast wider line around the fruit stand hairpin, and that's a second important overtake made in as many minutes. Now, unfortunately, Awes was able to pit and stay ahead of me, so this is where we're both at, having caught up to Mo Youngstar, who's driving for Picano and had already made 1 pit stop himself. Sean L13 continues to pull away then, but if I had to be stuck at the back of a train, I'd prefer it to be a slower driver at the front who has the chance of forcing the faster driver behind into an error for me to take full advantage of, as I do exactly that, penetrating the unimpressionable Awes up the inside. Ho-ho! For 9th. And as the race presses on, look who we have here. It's the aforementioned reserve drivers Jerome and Mo Youngstar, who are coming to blows right now, so it looks like the perfect opportunity for me once again, as I pretend that my apex for the final hairpin is just a bit further down than it usually is, commit to that line, and I'm able to run it right around the outside of Jerome. So another important pass as the chase for Picano's replacement continues. However, Mo switched on defense mode and I simply couldn't get past, so it was time to whip out my final joker card and pray that my speed had been enough to get the jump on the likes of Macy, Mini Temper, or anyone else who'd already got their second stop out of the way. And judging from the minimap, considering I basically came from the back to do this, that was bloody close. Scrazor makes his second stop then, and this time the flare shoots up all too late, so I'm definitely opening up a gap to those behind me, Now, as we cruise through another couple of minutes, that's a flare, and that is pole sitter UFO driver, so that must have been his second stop, and to be this close to the man who started in first position is a promising sight indeed. Then unbelievably, despite everything I've been through, we see another flare shoot into the sky, and you can see how much I've closed up to Sean L13. Now, knowing he'd be compromised after leaving the pits, I look to score a cheeky move up the inside, and I really want to close him off, but he carries just enough speed to keep his nose in, so all he has to do now is casually let the car run wide and squeeze me out of an overtake which I so desperately needed. Approaching the 35th minute in 5th is how long it took for me to finally succumb to tiredness, driving this twitchy car around this thumb workout of a track. The way the rear just steps out on you. It got the best of Sean L moments ago to hand me this position, and now it's got the best of me. But I'll be damned if I'm going to give it up that easily, although I've slid into the... Oh, there's been a collision! Oh, there's been a second collision! It's all gone horribly wrong somewhere on lap 30, and now there are two red dots homing in on the minimap. UFO driver's already through and gone, and now it's more Youngstar mounting a final charge to make me pay for my opening comments. And 3 wide into the final hairpin's going to be ugly, but I'm going to make sure I'm sitting pretty aboard the front of this train as we head into the penultimate lap. Coming through the haystack chicane for the final time then, Neo Dark Shadow gets a decisive victory for the absent Frinker, and 10 seconds down the road we'll see G-Gamer come through for second, but the race is certainly not over for me as I continue to fend off Sean L13 until the very end. Headshot picks up third, but in the meantime, I'm trying to defend Sean into the final hairpin, and I've just lost control due to damage, and now I'm all over the dirt, so is this going to be enough to give Sean L the run to the line? Thankfully not. Intense race with a sorrow ending for me. Congratulations to Neo Dark Shadow for stepping in for Frinker, and well, that lap time is representative of two things. One, he skipped through the first pile-up scot-free and was able to start putting in that sort of time, but two, the man is on another level to be able to come so close to his fastest lap in practice during a race, and it's my guess that it won't have been a one-off lap either. Jokes aside, Neo Dark Shadow, round of applause. Division 2's underway then in the understeery blisters, and Nus Manel leads from Dr. Pepper's, leads from Bad Herbatnik. He's going to have an interesting race. Razodkiv, of course, is the Division 1 driver trying to break his way into the top 5 positions. I said it couldn't be done, but I've just been proven horribly wrong, as 15th position ended up in first. So let's see if Razodkiv can get himself back into Division 1 here in Division 2. As we skip right to the end here, we can see the final battle for first going on between Charles the King and Rizodkyu. It's going down to the wire. So this is Charles the King's final pit stop, and I'm about to shoot the gun to let him go. So where's Rizodkyu? Oh, he's coming round. He's in the yellow blister, and that's the gap. So Charles the King has done just enough to keep Rizodkyu at bay, and Charles the King wraps up an incredible first place in the Division 2 race. Dr. Peppers is coming through there in the pink blister. Not a bad result for him. Nus Manel, who started on pole, picks up 4th. All the way from Division 3 into Division 1 there for Nus Manel. And unfortunately, Mini Temper, who had a fantastic race, as we see more young stars sprint through the line, Mini Temper is not getting promoted because Nima disconnected. Can you believe it? Neck and neck across the line then as the other drivers pick up the remaining positions. What a great Division 2 race. What a great race. Go and check out all the videos that are on YouTube. Just type in COTM and filter the results to this week. You can see all of the action going on everybody's channels all over YouTube. Great race. Rizodkyu's back in Division 1. Rizodkyu got 25 points from this race. Or maybe more. Maybe more. 22 points or 23. I don't know. Yeah. Really great performance from the guys in Division 2. Speaking of great performance, Division 3 is underway and the Pantos have so much space to play with them being so small. And look at the clean start we've got there as the Pantos all smash into each other at the fruit stand hairpin there. Well, it was a clean start up to a point, but you've always got to allow for a bit of pushing and shoving in Division 3, I guess, as we have new drivers in each and every week. Maybe one of the best perspectives to watch from this race is from Got You Itch. He goes by Wall Brothers on YouTube. Definitely check that race out, as there's been a massive crash there, and I think it just gets worse. I think the pile-up continues. You can see how that all unfolded. I believe Guzman Mestre was the cause of that, if I recall correctly. So I'm going to have to apply 1 or 2 penalties to Guzman Mestre for some pretty diabolical takeouts, I have to say. So going through to Division 2, newcomers Uchia and Mike BWFC. The Steak Sauce gets Wymarogko through. Whitey gets back into Division 2. And Got You Itch locks out the final promotion spot from Division 3. So thank you everyone for showing up, and I will see you in the next one.